Leafs Talk. JD Bunkis, Sam McKee. What's up, buddy? How we doing?
The black shirt and glasses boys tonight, eh?
Buddy, I woke up. I got some thing going on my eye. It doesn't look super noticeable on camera, so that's good. But if you kind of see, like, it's like barely open. Like, I don't know what's happening.
Gotta stop farting on your pillow, brother.
I had the same thought. It's like, no more pillows between the legs, I guess. No, I think it's eye cream because I'm trying to stay youthful. And,
my God. Just accept you're an old man. It's time.
Yeah, I think I got by the eye cream because it's like my eyelid. Leafs win. They give up. It was pretty classic Leafs game, buddy. How many times have we come on here this season and been like, hey, they got a shot. Goaltending matters. Goaltenders are part of the team. It's another Joe Woll night.
Yeah, this is really, really repetitive season. Like, there's so many games that have looked exactly like this, where they're awful in the first period again. Like, just downright awful. Quiet. They end up getting the goal. Max Domi scores again, where we're going to have an amulet conversation at some point tonight. But,
what's
2 goals.
Did Domi sign up for the amulet?
He signed up for the amulet, and then, like, has scored in both games since amulet. So,
all right.
Like,
well, then straight up, I'm buying
it's going to fix your eye. It's going to fix your eye. It's going to make me not sick. Great.
We have to at least try the amulet. We got to get the amulet, brother. There's just no way around it. It's getting ordered for Leafs Talk. It's now in the show budget. I've never been more sold on anything in my life than the amulet works.
So then, because Tavares makes a great play on the last goal there too. He's been excellent all season. So it's definitely something to it, but it's a really weird recipe. But when it comes down to it, the Toronto Maple Leafs have blown 2 leads all season. This was and they are the best team in the league at not blowing leads. And you could talk about how much that has to do with goaltending. And I thought the first 12 minutes of that third period, thought they were excellent defensively, playing in the offensive zone, just really, really pushing, being the aggressor, looking great. And then they kind of got out of the rhythm, and Joe Woll had to bail them out in the second half of the third period, I thought. Mm-hmm. But they just don't blow leads. And I don't know what to make of it, because they're winning. They're back to first in the Atlantic, but it just really does feel like there's another side to this stone, that there's another side to the coin here. And I don't know when it's coming or if it'll come, or they just going to keep riding this all year, but it really does feel like the flip side of this is a ride eventually, and you just got to keep accumulating points.
The thing is, though, is like a lot of it feels sustainable. Like the way that they played that you're talking about in that third period, like you could basically zone out. You could just kind of be like, yo, whatever. I was like, check your phone, take a peek every once in a while up at the screen. There's not going to be a whole lot of going on because their blue line has been solid. They've got the type of players in their depth that are solid at just like killing time. When that's the mandate for their stars, they can do it too. The goalie's rock solid. Like, Woll kept them in this game. Shots at the end of the first period were 15-4, I believe. He made like a bunch of deadly saves. He's basically, I think, completely responsible for this being a hockey game, because if he lets in that breakaway goal, then it doesn't go down the other way. Nylander doesn't score. The first line, we're just crushing them tonight because
I'll still do that if you want.
Well, I don't think that they're totally absolved, but at least they got a goal, right? Like, at least they were able to put one in the net because Joe Woll made a huge save. But he's just a stud, man. Like, you see the way that he moves around, and just the athleticism tonight, the strength tonight, the vision tonight is just full package was on display with Joe Woll. So
I think, I don't like, Kipper asked me today on the show where Leaf fans are at with Joe Woll, and I think it's a pretty simple thing. Like, it's just in terms of like, we just were having a conversation about Joe Woll, and he was just, asking if people could trust that he could run with this here. And that's kind of the conversation. And there's not one Leaf fan that's out there watching this or listening to this that doesn't have full belief in Joseph Woll's ability, because we've seen absolutely enough from the start of his NHL career to tell you that he is an above league average goalie, bordering on one of the better young goalies in the league. He's excellent when he's in the net. That's never been the issue. It's just staying healthy here. And it's another night where he had to make a lot of acrobatic saves. He's doing lots of stretches. There's lots of action around his own net. And that's one that you get through and you feel happy about it and you're happy to see it. It's tough living in this world with these two goalies where it just really feels like it's on a knife's edge at all times, but give him full credit, because tonight he earned them 2 points. He was spectacular.
I will admit too.
How many times have we done that too with both of these guys?
Yeah,
like Stolarz has done it like at least 5 times. Woll's done it multiple times now. It's a common trend for this team.
Dude, the question for the Leafs now is, if you have 2 injury-prone goalies, do you have one? And that's
a scary question.
That's what we're going to find out this season. I said it on my show today. We're about to learn a lot about Joseph Woll, because if he can stay healthy over this stretch and play 80% of the games, I think that's going to change. What? That's going to change a lot of people's opinion.
You got to baby him though. You got to baby him. You can't overtax him in December here. Like, you're first in the Atlantic. You're comfortably
80% is overtaxing. That's just a starting
absolutely.
Goal.
No, he's like, listen.
So what do you want to do? What's the number?
Like, get Murray up here, get Hill to be up here, get other guys starting games. Like, I don't want this guy starting 3 in 1 week. Like,
what's the number?
60, 70? Like, I don't want 80. I just don't. He's never shown the ability to stay healthy. And I had to have Kipper and Bourne yell at me about how you overtaxed the goalie, where he started on Tuesday and then they started him again on Thursday and he immediately gets hurt. And that's a problem. You can't have it happen again, or else you're down to Hill to be in Murray. So you have to be careful, man.
You got to let it see. You got to let it see.
Well, the stress test hasn't gone well. The stress tests have not gone well.
80-20 is not absurd. 80-20 is not absurd. That's just a normal. That's just a normal starting goalie rate. Let's see it. Let's see the kid play. He's not playing any back-to-backs, which they have a lot of. And so you can basically remove those from the equations. And then you look at it and you say, hey, if we've got the 3 and 4, you're especially cautious. Or if you've got the weird ones where it's like 4 and 6, then you split it up and do the 50-50. But outside of that, see if he's a starter, man. See, again, try to learn what you can about Joe Woll. And to me, so far, he looks like just a stud. He's just
I'd rather have one close to elite goaltender for a little bit less time than to have no elite goaltending. So that's where I fall.
I guess I just
you don't live in fear.
No, I don't.
His guy ankle exploded on a flutter puck off the half boards last season. He was gone for the whole year. He disappeared in the most important game for the Leafs last season because of his stretch on a you just have to be careful.
I don't live in fear. I'm brave.
Buddy, get this clip ready for Saturday night when Joe Woll leaves with injury. Just be careful.
Guess what, too? I was totally afraid. There was one save he made in the third where they were banging around his
exact one. I know the exact one. And even on the stretch across where he makes this fantastic. Who did he rob on that 2-on-1? Was it Heiskanen he robbed on the 2-on-1? Yeah. Fantastic save. I'm ooh, it's no way to live. It's no way to live.
Some people really in the chat are saying that you've cursing both goalies though. Like, you living in fear.
Oh yeah, well no, I did actually the curse of the other goalie was talking about how much confidence I had in it. Oh, that's just Luke. That's just our Luke. That's just the Swan Dog. And that's why I know Swan Dog's a Leaf fan, because he's talking about curses. Respect Swan Dog.
Swan Dog.
Yeah.
Fired away. Anyway, he was awesome. You know what else?
I cursed Stolarz because I said that what's the catch? What's all this? All these crappy things I said. That's the curse. This is the anti-curse.
Wait, so now you think that I'm cursing?
Big time cursing. Oh yeah, you're cursing hard. Like, you're talking about how I believe. You're talking about all this stuff. I'm like, dude, you
don't live in fear.
Be careful.
Live in the moment, man. Like, one of my favorite sayings: don't live in fear. Like, don't doomcast, because then you're just living it twice. Like, if it happens, it happens. But why build it up in your brain before the downside does happen? Yeah, like this Fonzie Moss. That's my guy. We can't live in the theoretical, fearful multiverse. Let the schedule dictate.
You positive Peters, come back to me. You come back to me in a week or two.
That's right. Fonzie Moss. Duddy, speaking of multiverse, is every movie and every show the multiverse now?
I haven't seen a movie in the theater in literally 5 years. I don't know what movie. I haven't seen a movie.
I'm so excited because it's award season and now we get the good movies, and it's just like, oh yeah,
I'll watch them on my TV at home, like the good ones. But like the movie theater movies, I'm not gonna go ever.
I'm a big theater guy. I love the theater. I like getting in there, getting a popcorn, getting a pop, getting a big soda, sitting in there, paying $1 million for it.
I got a microwave and a big TV at home, pal. I can recreate that experience.
Buddy, I got a microwave stat for you later that is gonna blow your mind. Great. Remind me of this, okay? Remind me.
Not good for me, just like everything else I do.
No. Microwave not good for you is like old wives' tale. Okay. It's actually like a blow your mind microwave stat that I learned the other day. But we got to get back to the game. The penalty kill also helps you protect leads, because the penalty kill is Studley.
Yeah,
and like amazing. A lot of that is goaltending, but it's like Dallas is 0 for 4 tonight. And,
and
how confident do you feel in that special teams unit? Like, as much as they've had dips with the power play this season, it's like been up and down, up and down. The two most consistent things about this team so far this season, well, you could say three, because you could say Marner, the goalies, and then the penalty kill.
Where are they up to in the league?
I have it in front of me.
I'm just looking here now, but it just feels like they've been 8th for a long time, but it's an incredibly consistent unit. And they have a lot of guys
lower than you would expect them to be in the standings.
Yeah, I mean, like there's 8 teams better than them at this. Like it really feels like they are a dominant unit. You think about all the guys that they have that are able to do it, right? Like it's a depth of guys. Yeah, they're 9th in the league. That was before tonight. So like it just really is
every team's just sick penalty kill.
Yeah, well, yeah. Guess what? It's a league full of third liners, thanks to the salary cap. So yeah, there's a bunch of good guys who are grunts that are good at killing penalties.
It's probably a lot of teams that played the Leafs power play over the first 2 months of the season.
Yeah. I mean, the best penalty kill in the league is the Nashville Predators, so that tells you its importance.
Yeah. Again, though, you know what? It's like so much of it is goaltending, man. Like, what do the Preds have? One good thing, which is their stud goalie, right? Yeah. Like, 100%. Makes big saves, and that was the Leafs goalie tonight. All right, third line.
Yeah, third line.
Doing things. Mickey Robbie loves his parents.
Crow? Are we preparing Crow? Are we preparing a Crow dinner for Nick Robertson, or are we being careful here?
Here's what I will say.
Okay, here we go. He's getting tricked again, baby. Here we go now.
I was mad at myself during this game because I sat there going, just when I think I'm out, you pull me back in. You do just a couple of things. The goal that he scores is a joke.
Sorry, I was just plugging my computer in. My bad.
Yeah, the goal that he scores is just like, was Jake Ottinger doing tonight? Like he got 2 points tonight because Jake Ottinger flat out sucked. Like there's no way to put it. Jake Ottinger had 2 of them tonight where he was just a nightmare. But what I love is just
even the Domi one, just quickly, even the Domi one, he was so deep in his net. Like he gave him that whole top. It was a good shot, but he gave him the whole net to shoot at. Like
I'm not criticizing that one.
Nylander on a breakaways, that's a tough one, but the other 3 I didn't love. Anyways, continue.
Yeah, I think the Domi one, I'm not faulting him. You can say he's a little deep. I got to see it again, but the other 2 were like 10 out of 10 putrid, like back-breaking Leafs in the playoffs. Hey, the Leafs are in the most important game of the year. Ooh. Bang! That's what those ones are reminiscent of old postseasons of the past. But I just love the way that he was just staying on pucks, tracking pucks. And can I say the play that I actually like the most is on the Domi goal. Run that sucker, Swad Dog. Look at this guy fight for position and go to the front of the net on this play. Like, look at him establish himself, make sure that he's open, make sure he's there for rebound. Like, look at the hustle on the kid right there. Boom, beats the defender of the net. I loved Robertson's game tonight. They faded in the third period when they were protecting the lead, like, because the mandate was obviously like, hey, don't you dare make a mistake, fellas. Don't you dare make a mistake.
East-west play.
Yeah,
all
but
north, all south.
But this is the second game in a row where this line's giving him a punch. And it's weird because the line I hated the most by far, like not even in the same stratosphere as the other lines, was the first line. Like it was just, but the way that the other 2 are playing, I think that there's like a case to be made where it's like, all right, I guess maybe just roll the same. You want to know what my switch would be? I would just put Nylander back on line 2 and Nyes back up on line 1.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I think that's totally fine. I don't know why you wouldn't just do that. I don't understand. Are we doing the first line thing?
Sure. Well, do you got any other thoughts on third line? Like,
well,
Robertson?
I mean, we could do the Robertson. Like, I'm happy that he's looking good, and it's nice that they found some chemistry here. And they need scoring outside of the top 6, so it's really good to get this.
Mm-hmm.
But trade him right now. Like, trade him.
I was just gonna say, how many trade him right now? Texts and DMs and tweets did you get?
Tomorrow. And honestly, if you were establishing, like, if you were just evaluating the 2 brothers off these games they play against each other, the Leafs would hang up the phone.
Why did the parents live in Dallas?
No, the Leafs would hang up the phone. Like they'd be like, "No, we are not trading you, Nick Robertson. Are you nuts?" Like, has Jason Robertson ever had the puck in a Leafs game against the Stars? Like, did he play tonight? I just
no.
Like,
I actually had a theory on this. You want to hear the theory?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, it's not a theory, but it's not his theory so much as a take. If I was a team that played in the Stars division, I would trade for Nick Robertson.
Yeah, love that move. That's a great idea. Also, Jason Robertson was a -2 tonight. No goals, no assists. Played 17 minutes of ice. had 2 shots.
Tough night for America. Ottinger, Robertson.
Yeah. Well, the one Robertson had a good one.
Yeah. But it's just like the 3 of the big dogs not looking so hot for Team USA. Meanwhile, like,
I will listen, obviously I've painted myself into the corner on Robertson and I'm not a huge fan of him, but it's even the believers quit. So I can't feel bad. It's, I saw the believers quitting, so I can stick with my spot. I think it's nice they're getting production from him. About time. This is what he's supposed to do. He's playing on a line, and I actually think it's a good mix. I think the size of McMahon and the way the passing ability of Domi and just sort of the breakaway speed for McMahon. When I was at that game on Saturday night in Detroit, Bobby McMahon jumps off the ice. His speed and size, he is an incredibly noticeable guy. He is a really, really, I borderline, to use a sports cliche here, borderline X factor for the Leafs, if I do say so. Just a very, very, speedy, big, strong, fast guy. And with Robertson, who can shoot in the net, I really do think it's a good mix of guys. So hopefully they can keep it going here for them, help the top 6, get a few goals, some secondary scoring that's been a killer for the Leafs. And good night for them.
So I thought, and I did this on my show on Monday, that to me, McMahon is just a guy. He's just a very clear guy. As we've done that bit for years, Borny and I, who's a guy. McMahon is that. And so he's an actual, I think, I don't think he's a pure driver, but you just put him around talent and he's going to make plays. And as you just touched on a bunch of the different stuff with him. But in terms of Robertson, we know he can make a good read. And we know that he's got good little acceleration and bursts. You know what so much of the difference of these 2 games has been?
That he's passing?
That not just that, buddy. How many times has he fallen down? He's staying on his feet.
Yeah, there hasn't been as many falls for sure. Also, he has a couple goals now.
Yeah.
So he doesn't feel like he needs to force it every time he has the puck.
These
where
guys
he's just
look
playing.
Like they're playing with confidence. This is just flat out, you can see it, where it's just 2 guys that have had the weight of the world lifted off their shoulders and look like they're playing way more free.
Yep. So happy to see them get it going. And the Domi, it was brutal to watch there for a little bit. He is the definition of a confidence player, where when he gets hot, he is the type of guy that needs to see a couple drop and he'll really start getting it going. And look at that goal. I didn't like that.
How are you going to blame Ottinger for that? This is disgusting.
Well, you're deep in your net and you got your blocker down beside your arm.
Nobody's stopping that. Ain't nobody stopping that. That's going in the net 10 out of 10 times. That's just a nasty goal. That's just a beautiful goal. Probably Stolarz. Yeah. He's just so big. There's nothing to shoot at. Stolarz is the answer to when people used to do what would happen if a sumo would be in net. He just took it all away. And they'd probably blow out his knee at some point. Was carrying the weight of the team on his shoulders. Okay. Yeah. Top line.
So I hate them together.
Yeah.
I just I texted you and called them the SBL, the spoiled brat line. It's just the 3 together. I hate it. They just all they all play I heard Berube talk about it on 2 separate days. One game day the day before where he's just don't want to be fancy, don't want him to do this, don't want him to do that. Who's going to go to the middle of the ice? So why aren't you're pre-mad about it? Why are you playing them together? Because at every level of hockey that's ever been played, when the good players get to play together, they try to be Mr. Cool Guy. They try to, pass the puck to each other. They try to make a perfect play. It's happened at every level of hockey forever. And it happens here. There's a reason that they don't play the 3 best guys in every team together. You spread it out. You have the luxury of 3 elite hockey players. You're totally neutering the rest of your team by putting them together. And they don't have any chemistry. Clearly, Matthews makes a great pass to Nylander or whatever. Those guys have played together. It's a pass he can make. Nylander shoots it in the net. But they're just, it's not good. Was Matthews on for 3 tonight? Was he on for 3 against? He was on for the last one.
He was. I'm not sure he was on the ice for the empty net. No, he was on the ice for the empty net because he made the play trying to clear it. He had Marner right beside him. He was on the ice and he made a desperation play and it went. So they were on the ice for 3.
All 3 of them bring out the worst in each other. It's just not good. It's not a good mix. So break it up. I don't particularly like it. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
I don't think anybody likes it. And the level of sour that I was when they got scored on to start the game.
Oh yeah.
Especially you tweeted about this, but Matthew started to move as the game went on. And that's when where I got a little worried because maybe he's just loosening up, but he looks stiff, man.
I'm telling you, man, he is nowhere near. He's it's closer to the end of a shift here where they've been on the ice for a while. So he's a little bit tired. I understand it, but I would be willing to give him for the benefit of the doubt if he hasn't been skating at times like he's towing a U-Haul. Like this has been a trend for him. And you don't fly across the ocean because you're feeling good. And this is clearly like his play this season to the point that we're at now. How many games has he been back now since he was hurt? I can't tell you the exact number, but it's a long enough time where he's got the production. So what can you say? He's, scoring still, he's still getting assists. He's still doing this, but there's other parts of his game where it's just leaving a lot to be desired. And like, I was in the building. I got to bring it up Detroit Saturday night for that play where it rims off his skate off the Tanev grenade. He makes no effort, no stride, goes in front of the net. Flamingo's the shot block in front of the net. I'm sitting in the nosebleed with some Leaf fans. There was some MFing going on up there. Like there's parts of his game that are usually super dialed in and super locked in and super really responsible. And they're just not there for a lot of nights this year. And I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's related to injury. I don't know if it's motivation. I don't know if it's the pressure of being the captain. I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it, but it ain't right.
Yeah. 10 games back for Matthews. Can I make one slight defense of top line?
Absolutely.
So I thought that, I'm a stress test guy. Like I believe in the stress test. I mentioned it earlier with Woll.
Yeah.
I like to see it in a tough spot, not in an easy spot. I don't care what the top line looks like against the Buffalo Sabres, flat out. Like, don't care.
Who cares?
But matter. Against the Dallas Stars, where they have last change, that's a real test of what you've got there and what those guys can do. And if you're going to be chasing a game at some point this season, right? Like if you're down a goal, then you are going to have chances where those guys come out on an offensive zone draw and you fire them together. And so tonight, the most optimistic outlook I have for this, because Berube's no dummy. I don't think that the coaching staff thinks that this is what's best for the team. I don't think that they're giving this a serious look like, oh boy, like, no, they know they need to spread out the talent. Anybody with half a brain knows they need to spread out the talent. In fact, like I would say that if you were giving me the options of load up the top line versus make sure all three of them have a separate one, like that's the easiest choice that I've ever had to make in my entire life.
Totally.
But give them some reps in a meaningful spot against a really good opponent where you don't have last change and see if they can build a little bit of chemistry and get a couple of just reps together, because they're going to be in those spots at some point this year where it's going to matter. So that's the way that I read it. But I also am giving them like big brain benefit of the doubt here, when in reality, it's probably just like, well, something worked and then we stuck with this. That's what.
And it's a long season. Berube's, he's been tinkering here and there and he's trying different things together, but I would like him to try this last. Hey, I looked something up with because the shots on goal and how the lack of shots on goal for the Leafs this year. I looked up the shots on goal over from 2018 when Berube got hired. He got hired mid-season, so it's hard, to the time that he got fired, and he got fired mid-season. So there's like a half a season on both end of it in terms of like the shots on net. The Blues over that time were 25th in shots on net. So like clearly I think the Leafs are 17th or 15th this year, between 17 and 15. I can't remember exactly what I looked at, but like there's clearly more talent on this team. But over that time with, I guess it would have been Sheldon Keefe that entire time, the Leafs were 6th in the league. Right. So I don't know if it's like, I don't know what's better. I really don't.
Well, I can tell you this though, like we can say like we don't know what's better. Well, everyone who's like cried about the system and like guys not working out, it's like Tavares having a career year. Nylander's having a career year. Marner's having a career year. And the only guy that hasn't been dominant is the dude that went to Germany to get multiple different things put in his body. So like just a little perspective
game from Christian. 14th with 29.1.
Like,
but the Leafs would have been top 5 every year under Keefe with shots on net, right?
Yeah.
So I just thought that was interesting.
I got to pull that up. They definitely were better than what they have been this year. And their numbers 5-on-5 have been better. Their expected goals for, like all of it consistently better. But like I don't buy the narratives as much of like the system is causing these guys to not be as good, when like, again, the Stars have been awesome minus the injured guy. And the guys
go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that the guys who've had the tough adjustments are like, okay, Max Domi, this is a carbon copy of what happened to him last year. He couldn't do anything. It took him months to get going. He finally scored a goal, and then he emerged as a glue guy for the team that gave them a real punch down the lineup and then up it when playing with Matthews. Nick Robertson, how many times, like he scored goals last year, and there were many moments where we called him scratch and score for a reason. Like he would get scratched and he would score, and now he got scratched and he has scored. So it's like, a lot of these are just repetitive things, and we get trapped in the moment of it. And we're like, oh, well, this is the big. It's like, no, it's mostly just the same. It's mostly just the same,
except way better defensively and way better goaltending, which are the two most important things that you're trying to do.
Exactly. And the thing that drives me crazy too is like when people are like, oh, are they better defensively? Like, here's some nerd numbers. I'm like, look at the way they defend the net front. Like, if you've watched this team, like if you've taken your eyes off the chart to ever watch this team, and you're going to tell me straight to my face that it's the same team defensively, like I just don't know how we can even have a conversation where it's in good faith.
Eighth in shots per game with the end of the Keith there. So I went back to 2018, 2019.
Christian's firing away the stats. Christian's our stat guy now.
Kids
emerging.
Kid's hot right now.
That fast, dude. This is the thing is like, we're boomers now. You know that, right? Like I said
sixth. I said sixth. I looked it up wrong. And I produce a nationally televised.
And it probably took you like how long?
Nah, like not that long. Like I
pulled up. It took you longer than Christian.
No. Maybe like a maybe.
I mean, well, you got it wrong, so I don't.
I got it wrong. Yeah, I got it wrong. What did I say? Six? I was pretty close.
Yeah, it's like anyway. So good job, Christian. I hate the first line. I would break it up immediately, but I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. By the way, though, like you got any other big stuff? Oh, I got one other big thing. It's not a good one.
Okay. So what do you want to say? Timmins?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, buddy. Yeah. What was he doing on that second penalty? Like the first one's a bad break.
Should have taken a third penalty. Hammers Marchman, who leaves the game.
Like, but the second one, like this one is like, oh, whatever. Like, guys, this puck goes out, hits the camera, like bad break happens to the best of them. Yeah. Like, trying to make clear, whatever. Like, I don't really care. I hate it when it's the sixth guy that takes penalties, but it's like, look at the second one, man. Like, what exactly was he thinking on this play? Like, the slash is like, it's just about as dumb as of a play as you can make. It's just a brain dead moment. And to me, like the body language of the guy, like he looks like he's playing frustrated. You just said that there's confidence with the third. Like, what is that? Like,
I mean, it's that play happens literally 1,000 times every single game uncalled. But it's a slash in the hands. They called it. It's a dumb play. It's a dumb play. But here's what, like, it's just, it hasn't been as good. He was really good, and he was going way above their skis. And he was taking advantage of an opportunity. He was playing a ton. Like that's a tough one for Marchman too, with the stick break when he's leaning on it. Stick breaks. That's pretty funny.
I wondered if that's what hurt him.
Yeah, it hurt his ego for sure. That one of it did, but that was it. But Timmins is just, he's stock down in a big way. Yeah. And you start to look at the Leafs decor, and it's like, boy, it's a lot of Myers. It's a lot of Timmins. It's a lot of, like they're better, no question. They have two capable NHL defensemen, Oliver Ekman-Larsson, who's been not as great recently. Thought he was better tonight, but not as great recently. They have Tanev. Both those guys they've added into the lineup are better. But like like I was thinking they don't need to add at the deadline when it comes to defensemen, but they're definitely there. So
you gotta tell you, we just got the player of the game poll. Woll only 72% is about as bad as work as the Chat has ever done. Like he's just so
should have been 85 or 90. No question.
Like Robertson, fine, like whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
Nylander was. Anyway.
Nylander 6% is the most aggressively bad answer that we've had on this program. Like that is the 6%. You got to go. You got to leave.
He only played 16-27 tonight, Nylander.
Yeah, I don't even want to give the microwave stat, knowing that this happened here with the player of the game poll. Like, take it seriously, all right? We take it seriously. Do better on the player of the poll. But
the thing is, it's like on that first power play, did they get another? They only got one power play tonight, right? Am I wrong on that?
I think so. And they got
they were 0 for 1. Yeah, 0 for 1 on the power play. And William Nylander, that he deserves to be taken out of the running for that player of the game exclusively on that play. The key, like the self-icing, fumbling the puck around. Too cool for school out there sometimes. It drives you crazy. And then the puck lands on a stick in the slot and he goes bar down, and one of the best goalies in the league. So you got to take the good with the bad, but God, sometimes he can frustrate you.
Rapid fire?
Yeah. Loved Tavares on the empty netter.
Yeah, that's what I was going to go to first.
Oh my God. Like this is just amulet. It's just, but this is like the captain play here where, there's been a lot of talk about the captaincy being taken off of him. Maybe the weight of the world off his shoulders, but the play that he makes here, and maybe the weight of an amulet around his neck, potentially, that's really helping him around. But digs in hard, wins and we talk about that stat, right? The puck battles. That's one that we love to point to. He leads the league in puck battles, or the per game or whatever, whoever counts that. He wins 2 separate puck battles before he wins the puck battle to bring it out. I think he has 3 on this. Look at this. He's digging in there, gets interfered with by Robertson, and chips it out to Nylander, who goes in and scores it. I've loved Tavares this season. And of course, everybody's starting to talk about the contract and all that stuff. And I'm just not thinking about it. I'm enjoying this year from him. It's his contract year. He's playing great. I love the little FU that they took the C off of him, and he's having maybe his best year as a Leaf outside, maybe the first one with Marner. He's been excellent all year. And this is just all heart, that play. Great stuff from
people always get pissed off when we do contract talk, but to any of you who cry, shut up. It's my job. So I don't care what you have to say about me talking about contracts.
Oh, so you want to do contract talk?
No, I'm just saying that I already did contract talk this week. I had Frank on and we had a chat, and he mentioned to me that the contract is they're pretty close. I asked him if it was going to happen in season, and it's probably gone up a little bit. And this has to do with respect when it comes down to the number that he's obviously going to take a discount. And that $6 million is not $6 million moving forward, right? Even with the Canadian dollar, it's ooh, this is going to maybe screw up the cap situation. Maybe get that one guy out of town here quick.
I just checked the bank statements from a trip to the States.
Yeah. Poorly timed for you.
Buddy, I'm Joe Exotic. I'm never going to financially recover from this.
I'm not around me, boys. Beers in here are only $4. This is fine. It's you had no idea you were buying $12.
A couple of $40 rounds of that's nothing.
No,
85. Dude. Oh,
we're all poor up here now.
Bro.
It's we're a shanty that's on top of America. That's what's going on. But yeah, Tavares, he's been unreal. It's just, there's no other way to put it. But Frank was saying that you're guessing that the number is going to start with a 6, and that's probably the range that it's going to be. And it's going to be somewhere in there. And anybody that has a problem with that, I think, is out of their mind. It's John Tavares. He's clearly proven that he's still worth that. It's probably going to be a shorter deal too. It's not going to be a longer one. If you were willing to give Chris Tanev the 4.5 till the day he straight up can't walk on the ice anymore, and you're crying because Tavares gets sick something, again, you're out of your mind. You're flat out of your mind. It's totally worth it. And especially as the cap is going up. What I want to say about him is this is the most, you don't have that nerd streak. I like the nerdy things sometimes. I love some Lord of the Rings.
Oh,
he's like that. He's like Strider. He's the true king. It's he's stripped of the captaincy. He's in the bar just chilling, drinking. These guys are wait, aren't you the king? And there's other boys that are trying to be the king. That's Matthews. And it's just all of a sudden at the end of the show, it's we giving him the captaincy back when he's Lord of the contract.
Is that is?
What?
That's Lord of the Rings, what you're talking about?
Yeah, dude. What, you never read Lord of the Rings or watched Lord of the Rings?
I tried. It's just this.
Yeah, of course. You're the worst. It's just
why?
Painfully bad. What?
The video game was amazing. The video game for Xbox was unbelievable.
The video game. That's where you're going with this. One of the best books ever. One of the best fantasy books ever.
Yeah, I'm not going to read about wizards and warlocks.
I maintain you're more of a dork for having this take than it is to be me having read the book and having seen
anything. I just don't like it. I never liked Game of Thrones. I never like any of this stuff. It just is not for me.
Wizards. Shut up. Shut up.
It's actually going down to Hogwarts, pal, you dork. Holy.
I gotta say, I'm not a Potter guy. I tried. I gave it an honest effort. It just isn't for me. I was a little too old when it came through. But me seeing Legolas shoot arrows into a cave troll's head.
No question, badass war scenes in those movies.
Yeah,
no question.
That hit me at the perfect time.
But there's 5 hours of everything else.
Yeah. What else from Rapid Fire? Oh, don't Pacioretty with another monster hit.
Oh my god. Can we roll that?
Roll it.
Oh my god.
Roll it.
He punishes boys.
Bang.
every game there is a 10 out of 10 Mike Pekka hit. This is another one where that is a awesome hit. He has had 4 of the least biggest hits all year if you take out the Ryan Reeves evisceration of was it Darnell Nurse? But I can't remember a guy you talk about Jason Spezza coming in here and reinventing himself as a fourth liner and some other guys that they brought in here, the older guys I can't remember any of them having the physical impact that this guy's had. He has reinvented himself. I'm so impressed. And who knows how long it's going to last, but he doesn't care. He's going out there acting like it's his last game every game, and I respect the hell out of it. Never thought I could love Max Pacioretty the way I love him. Like, I truly didn't.
This is the same thing. Just don't go be a part of Dubas's front office, and you'll be another guy who I can't believe I care about, who played on a team that I hated.
And Black stick all the nice things I said about Jason Spezza.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it's done. I'll never say a good thing again. I actually should go through and scrub all the nice tweets I put out about Jason Spezza. Like, those got to go. Chris Tanev got a video tribute tonight. Like, that's outrageous. I've usually been like on the, hey, who cares? Give guys video tributes. Like, it's a nice thing from the organization.
It's really good for them. Really good. Yeah, they went to the conference finals. Buddy, you think somebody went to you think somebody, give me a break. You're in Toronto, and I don't know if you're anti-tribute video. They at least make a trade. Hold on. They at least make a trade for a first-round pick with a first-round pick at the deadline for a top-pairing defenseman, and they go to the conference finals, and they come back the next year. You don't think the Toronto Maple Leafs are going to give that person a video tribute? They give Pierre Engvall a video tribute.
I was going to say, the Leafs will give anybody a tribute. I'm saying that this stuff's not... It's diminishing the meaning if it's getting to this point, man. Like, that's straight up. Like,
that's a fair argument.
Like, if you're doing, like, again, 19 games with the Stars in the regular season, like, you're giving them a tribute video. It's like, it's too much. Like, just like the fans can give like a little, like, something when he touches the puck. I don't know if they care about him that much, but it's just like tribute video for a guy that played.
Put him on the Jumbotron. Welcome back, Chris Tanev.
Yeah, like, I'm just saying, tribute video. Like, you could have put his entire career there on the tribute video. Like, it's just, it's too much.
Yeah,
like,
just
make tribute videos count.
Is there a worse guy to try to? They sent that poor intern. They're like, hey, Jimmy, we're gonna need you to put together a highlight reel of Chris Tanev, please. And he's like, but he's like, it's not necessarily easy. It's like, so just blocks, all blocks.
Yeah.
This every block.
That is a pretty sweet tribute video, though. Like, I hope that if his Leaf career goes according to plan, well, he'll get a tribute video now because he's locked up here.
Yeah.
But yeah, when he retires, that they just do a pure blocks tribute video. That would be sick. That would be amazing to have the first blocks tribute video. Last thing for me. Do you have got anything else on the game?
No, I'm good.
Last thing for me is, like, your trip made me realize, like, I haven't gone to a Leafs road game since the Pandy.
Yeah. It was awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It was great. It was great to be Johnny Leaf fan again. You know, like, I just put on the jerseys, went and yucked it up with the million Leaf fans are there. Shout out Keegan. He got one. You know, he needed that. The Red Wings needed that. He was pretty excited about it. They won. They're playing their stupid little goal song. He was pretty fired up. I was using my dark arts the whole game. I'm like, this is over. This is over. I was using the dark arts. They tied it early in the third. Yeah. He was talking about how bad Husso is, and then Husso stands on his head for much of that game.
He's amazing.
Yeah. He used
dark. He was talking about Husso the night before at the bar.
Oh yeah.
Like, nonstop. He's coming up.
He was also okay. So Petrie scored 2 goals in that game. When they announced Petrie in the game, like because he's in the starting lineup, he literally screamed retire. Like, his dark arts were like out of control.
Wow.
Yeah.
He had the dark arts going, man.
Yeah. He was the puppet master. He was the
That is elite dark artsing.
Oh yeah.
That's incredible. Good for him. No,
it's fun though. Like, and honestly, again, the amount of people that came out to me was out of control. It was amazing. So
this is the best thing about Leafs games on the road.
Yeah.
It's like, you get the true Leaf fans that go
100%.
It's always like guys trips. I got to do it again. Like, it just reminded me. I was like, oh crap, I got to do this. Like, our job has taken me out of the rhythm of this, and the pandemic did. And then you went, and I was like, oh my God, this is the best thing. You get the true fans, you get the true atmosphere. And all of a sudden the regular season games, like, we get jaded watching them on TV. But when you go down to an opposing arena, it's like it's Super Bowl time, because the other fan base hates your guts, talks trash to Leaf fans like no other
thing.
Yeah. And it's just the best time. So I was happy for you guys, but I was also jealous.
So I understand. So I will say, I got a recommendation. Crap. I wish I could remember a guy named Troy, who was like a photog for the NHL and NFL. He told me to go to Tommy's Bar in Detroit. And he's like, it's a gritty old hockey bar. You'll love it. And the walk there, I was like, boys, like, it's one of those ones where I'm like, it's my recommendation. And it's like, you're not supposed to go left in Detroit, supposed to go left in the city. And I was like, Jesus, where am I taking the boys? Anyways, we end up in there, and it's incredible. We're in there. We're having a great time. The server, Tommy's there. He looks like Ron Jeremy. We're having a great time. And then he's like, you boys catching the shuttle? I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, we got a shuttle to the game. And like Tommy's bar has like a shuttle. They picked us up. We took beers in the shuttle. We drove. It was like America.
Yes.
Just like incredible. Have a crush. A ton of Leaf fans in there. We're just having a beer in the shuttle. It was incredible. But
that is what it's all about.
But the real.
That is what it's all about.
Like I forgot Saturday night existed because of the Bills game.
That's as good as it can get though. Right there. Yes. You're drinking with the boys, Leafs road game, and you find out there's a shuttle to the game where you can drink on a bus. There's no level of happiness that gets over that level of happiness. Like that's as good as it gets. You just lived it, brother. You just lived it.
Yeah.
All right.
And then the Bills was absurd. And Josh Allen, I've been lucky to see a lot of really incredible athletes live, like absurdly good list of names. LeBron, McDavid, Sid, Ovi, Wemby, Messi when he was a teenager. Like I've seen some unbelievable performances live, but Josh Allen on Sunday, that was something different. And NFL games are different. My ears haven't recovered. My throat hasn't recovered. Like it's the loudest, craziest thing ever. So my throat also hasn't recovered because I hacked a bunch of darts, which that always helps, but it was incredible. So Detroit, if you're listening to this, gotta go to a game. Maybe don't go against the Bills because it's literally like I'm never going to financially recover from going to that game, but it was absolutely incredible. Got to go to a game there. Next year, you and me, we'll go to at least Red Wings and then whoever the Bills are playing.
Yeah. Now you're a Detroit guy. Now that you're a Bills Mafia guy, now that you've picked your 4th NFL team in 5 years.
I've never gone into any other opposing barn and cheered for any of my other teams. I went into the Lions Den. I was getting hammered, chirped. And I went in there and
who told you to do it?
Buddy, it almost got me killed. There was like only 2 other Bills fans in my section. I was in like a hardcore Detroit fan section. Dude,
no, you're not going to give me any love.
Like after at the bar, it was incredible. Go Bills, go Bills. Like they played, you want to shout at the bar, and everybody's like, Bills, man, it was incredible.
No, that's what I mean. You got to be a part of it.
But at the game, I might have got stabbed. Like it was dangerous at the game. There's 2 guys in front of me wearing like full helmets with like glasses on. And every time I did like a cheer, like they're both glaring at me. Boys were grumbling. Like a guy told me to shut
with Lions fans. Too.
Call me
down a notch.
Really? I mean, like Keegan doesn't really care.
But they're wearing Lions stuff. They don't know.
Yeah.
Like if the boys are wearing Lions stuff and they're with a Bills guy, like that's the implication. Is just like, hey, like shut up. It's when it's a big annoying crowd of just like only guys, aka Leafs fans. Yes. That's when the trouble starts.
I will say the biggest win of the weekend is on the Saturday night. I had a couple too many beverages and the boys pitched the casino and I didn't want to go. So I decided, I was like, okay, I hate casino. I'm not a casino guy. Like I
didn't go to the casino?
I went to the casino.
Oh yeah.
But then I went with them and I just sat there. I just sat there. I literally went and just sat there. I was like, I'm bored. I'm just going to sit here. Like I have no itch. God. But it's like 2:30 in the morning. I'm just had too many.
That's the best time.
I know. And they're all happy as hell. And then I'm sitting there. I wake up the next morning and my wallet is not in my bag anywhere. I lost my wallet. Straight up lost the wallet. Had no idea where it was. Called all the cab companies in Detroit because I didn't know what cab I got into the whole thing. Called the casino and they ended up having the wallet. Somebody found it on the floor. I had to pay $40 that was in there. Obviously got rinsed for that, but not one charge on a card, not one thing. And I got to take my wallet back.
Yeah, you find a wallet in casino, you're well within your rights to take the cash out of the wallet.
Of course, and I would have paid double that.
And then if you win, you're like, yo, I took the $40 and I put more money in your wallet because like this was lucky cash. Like cash on the ground that's lucky time. Okay, Dan Hilborn crying about is this still Leafs talk? Yeah, buddy.
Sorry, we're talking too long for you.
Yeah. Get out of here, Dan Hilborn. Out, Dan. Out, Dan.
Close YouTube, bro.
Yeah. Anyways, the microwave stat is just this.
Oh, yeah.
Luke, why are you putting that in there? The microwave stat is this. You don't put the food in the middle of the microwave. You're not supposed to do this. Are you aware?
Okay.
It's going to blow your mind. When the food is cold in the middle, again, you're getting dumb guy science here. I saw this I looked it up though. It's true.
Okay.
The microwave waves that they bounce off each other in the middle when you put the food in the middle of the plate. Okay. You got to put your food when you put it in the microwave and put it to the edge of the Pyrex dish that's in the middle so that when it's going around, the microwaves are ripping off of it every single which way and not cancel in the middle. That's why your food's cold. Don't put the food in the middle of the microwave. Put it to the side of the Pyrex. Going to change your life. I immediately tried it. Guess what? Bang. Work.
I usually just put a little glass of water in there with it to kind of steam whatever I'm making. And that usually works.
So you're not gonna. You just like.
I'll try it. I'll try it.
You're gonna
100%.
miss this stat. This is a game-changing stat. Frozen food in the middle.
It's not a stat. It's a statement. That's not a stat.
It's a stat. It's a stat for microwaves. It's the ultimate microwave stat. Anyways, now I'm triggered because you didn't give me the pop that I wanted. I gave.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah. So, all right. No, that's fine. Number one microwave guy I know doesn't care about the microwave. Puts a little water in it. Anyways, subscribe to this podcast. Leave 5 stars, except for Dan Hilborn. Get out of here, Dan Hilborn. We'll see you Friday night after the game. What? Yeah, against the Sabres. Yeah,
we've lost
Friday night
against games in a row.
Yeah, gross. That's a bad one. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram at JD Bunkis, at Sam McKee. We'll see you then.